Hi, and welcome back to Switch and Lever.
50,000 subscribers, that's a whole lot of people. It seems to be a somewhat unremarkable number though, as Wikipedia simply defines it as the natural number that comes after 49,999 and before 50,001. But for me, it's simply amazing. Thanks to each and every one of you who subscribed and watched my videos. It truly warms my heart. To give you some perspective, if you all laid down head to feet in a straight line, it would be about this long. Amazing stuff. Anyhow, since I didn't do a recommendation video for 40,000 subscribers since they came so darn fast after 30,000, this time around it's going to be a double feature. Get comfy, take out your favorite beverage and snack and check out these 20 YouTubers which are well worth the watch. As before, anyone with more subscribers than me are automatically off the list. Let's help those who really deserve more views and subscribers. As always, you can find the links for the channels in the description below the video. To kick off this list is James Wright of Wood By Wright, who is a woodworker through and through, making beautiful furniture, wood carvings and lots of videos on how to make your own woodworking tools, as well as general tips and tricks around the woodshop. He has over 200 videos, so it will take you a while to look through them, but definitely do so, it's one of my favorite recent finds. The one and only maker of the Twisted Sharpies. Holy heck, these are awesome. Greg is a super nice guy and definitely a multi-creative, making things from tools to use in your shop, restoration, furniture and so much more. I'm certain whichever video you decide to watch first of his, you'll have a great time. If you like dovetails, then Katz-Moses woodworking shop is the channel for you. Heck, even if you're not, I'm sure you'd like the tips shared by Jonathan in his many videos. He's also made a great tool for getting started with dovetails, a dovetailing jig for manually cutting dovetails. No router jig or table saw jig, just a piece of wood and some magnets to help you guide your cuts. Awesome stuff. Bill whatever. Bill is truly a maker for makers, beside the fact that he's making really cool projects and is not afraid to take chances to learn new stuff, he's also heavily invested in the maker community and is writing a book about Jimmy DiResta. Not only that, but he's also the originator of the No Lathe Pen Challenge, which got quite a lot of attention recently on YouTube. Cool stuff. Works by Solo only has 4 videos up so far, but he's made some cool projects nonetheless. Check out the video on the concrete USB hub he made a few months back. Or my favorite out of the aforementioned No Lathe Pen Challenge, an articulated finger-mounted pen. Totally impractical, but way cool. I could just not refrain from including Olliewood in this list. Sure, he only has 3 videos and they're spaced out over a year, but you really need to check out his fairy houses he makes out of solid logs. It's the kind of stuff I'd love to scatter around my back garden to feel that magic is still alive. Bill Sin is going on an upcycling and reclamation adventure. His videos are beautifully shot and subject somewhat unconventional ideas, like building a shelf from an old acoustic guitar or transforming a jerry can into a toolbox. I really love his projects and they're definitely giving me a lot of inspiration for things to do myself. Max of Max Maker has a lot of really neat projects on his channel. He recently released a video on how to motorize any slider, which I think will be quite useful for all of us who do YouTube videos and are looking for something a little bit extra in our productions. I really like his engineering approach to his project as well. For sure, check out the giant folding Christmas tree he made a short while back. Now for a fellow Scandinavian. Jan from Norway is an industrial designer, just like yours truly, and he's making some gorgeous projects over at his channel Flokroll Projects. He's made a few different knives, furniture, geometrical shapes, a couple of cool lamps and a giant slingshot. Seriously, you gotta check out the slingshot, it's super cool. If you're at all into blacksmithing and big personalities, I'm sure you'll love Rory May's channel. He talks blacksmithing, forges all things imaginable and gives you plenty of tips to get started with blacksmithing. He does forge some both beautiful and functional stuff and drinks a beer or two while answering viewer questions. I could almost smell the fire and metal through YouTube. Crazy Timber is 16 years old and already building his own woodworking tools, jigs and all sorts of very cool woodworking projects. Check out the bowl he carved using an angle grinder or any of the other different bowls he's made. When I was 16, you had to set fire to my toes just to get me off the couch. What this guy is doing is just amazing. He's got a great future ahead of him. The Joy of Precision is a rather new channel that's only been at the YouTube game for a few months, but he's already been quite proficient in what he's made. Max's videos are somewhat niched, but if you're a hobby metal machinist or just have a general interest, there's a wealth of information to be found in his channel. The Boring Head project released recently is a great starter into his channel for sure. It's anything but boring. Jesse Ujeda is one part of the widely popular YouTube channel Homemade Modern. However, she also has her own channel where she does her own projects, which are definitely worth checking out as well. They're easy to follow and inspiring for makers who are maybe just starting out and don't have access to workshop spaces, but still want to create cool stuff at home. I really love the crafting table, it's such a cool idea. Tim Sway is another one of those woodworkers who will do just about anything imaginable. I don't even know where to start, there is so much good stuff. The guitars he makes from reclaimed material or just straight up junk are very inspiring. He's also 1/3 of the great Reclaimed Audio podcast, which you definitely should check out if you haven't already. Sean is a bit different maker from most of us, in the sense that he doesn't have a workshop, a garage or a basement to do his projects in. His channel is called Maker on the Move, and that is exactly what he is. He's currently turning his trailer into a mobile workshop, which he uses to travel around the US. Check out his travel logs and see how you can combine making with traveling in a really exciting way. Another prolific home machinist, Randy Richard, will take you on the ins and outs of workshop machinery, repairing and refurbishing, making new parts and teaching methods which could also be useful to any home machinist. Also, he has one of the better mustaches of any machinist out there. Just be careful so you don't get that caught in any spinning machinery. Another multi-creative person, Zach of ZH Fabrications, mainly does wood and metal projects, furniture and decorative pieces, but they're all stuff that I would not hesitate to have in my own home. Not just great ideas, but the execution of the projects is also just top-notch. Check out his industrial wall sconces he made for a bar. Super inspiring. The Redsmith makes a lot of really cool stuff from leather, but for me the really interesting stuff are his forging and workshop machinery videos. For instance, he made a belt grinder for knife making from salvaged components and restored an old blacksmith's forge. For a channel that's only just over a year old, he's sure been busy, and definitely deserves checking out. Patrick Soriano started his channel while at school to become an industrial designer, just as me, so my heart goes out to him directly. His videos are not only interesting project-wise, but also beautifully shot and edited. He doesn't have a ton of videos on his channel so far, but do check him out, and maybe especially his furniture videos. It's a super cool channel, and I hope that he will get into releasing more videos once again. If nothing of what I've featured is your thing, maybe CNC is more up your alley. RoboCNC is a channel which showcases everything from building and setting up your own CNC mill to maintaining it and making various projects using it. He's currently rebuilding a manual mill into a CNC as far as I can learn from his website, so I'm definitely looking forward to the videos about that. Again, thank you for your views and your likes. And if you stumbled upon this video, be sure to check out some other stuff from Switch and Lever, and hit that subscribe button before you leave.
Until next time!